Hello and welcome to our 42nd session of this Junior Programmer series, and in this series we are going to improve our Tilting Island game by adding one more power-up known as the Smashing power-up. Now this power-up will be red in color, and when I select it, I have to press the space button. It will smash all the enemies. See, if I press space, so it will smash all the enemies and it is going to destroy it. Let us start by launching Unity Hub. Now come into project and you can start with this tilting_island 095. But if you doesn't have this previous project, you can start with a new project and in the template choose Universal 3D SRP, and in the project name I am now going to call this as Tilting Island 10, and in eUnity project I am going to click on create project. Now as the project is getting loaded, come into the YouTube page, and if you scroll down and in the description if you click on more, you are provided with a Patreon link. Click on this Patreon link. This will bring you to the Junior Programmer series page, and if you scroll down, you are provided with this file 42 Tilting Island Challenge to Start Unity package. Click on this to download this file. If required, also download this Sartreak_layout.wlt file. Now, once Unity is launched, come to project panel and select this Readme file. Come into the inspector and click on remove Readme asset. And in this confirmation dialog box, click on proceed. You also doesn't need this input system actions file. Right click and choose delete, and in the confirmation dialog box click on delete. If your layout doesn't match the layout you are seeing on the screen, come to the right side on this layout panel and choose Sartreak layout. And if you doesn't find this Sartreak layout, click on load layout from file, select the downloaded Sartreak_layout.wlt file and click on the open button. Come into the project panel, select asset, right click and choose import package, custom package. Select 42 Tilting Island Challenge to Start.unity package file that you just downloaded and click on open. Now in the import Unity package dialog box, click on all here and click on the import button. Once everything is imported, come here into the project panel, scenes, double click Tilting Island to open it. We don't need this sample scene. Right click and choose delete, and in the confirmation box click delete. Now I will open the script folder and select this PowerUp file and double click to open it. This will open in Visual Studio Code. If it asks to trust the author, click on yes, I trust the author. Public enumerator PowerUp type. You have none, pushback and rockets. After rocket, I will put comma and add one more type, smash, and I will go into file and save this. I will come back to Unity, allow the script to compile, and then select this PlayerControllers.cs file, double click to open it. In this variables, I will press enter and I am going to declare the variables now. I will add / variables for smash power-up. And then I will first declare public float and I am going to call this as hang time. I will set its initial value to 0.4f and end it with semicolon. I will call next public float and I will call this as smash speed and I will set it equal to a value of 10f and end it with semicolon. Then I will call public float and I am going to call this as explosion force, and I will set its initial value to 300f and end it with semicolon. I will call public float and I will call this as explosion radius and I will set its initial value to something like 5f, end it with semicolon. I will declare two private variables. One is the bool type of variable. I will call this as smashing and I will set its initial value to false and end it with semicolon. Then I will call a float number called as floor y and end it with semicolon. And after declaring all these variables, I press enter twice and I am now going to call a enumerator function and I am going to call this as smash, add open close bracket, press enter and add open close flower bracket. Inside this flower bracket, you are seeing a red line because it is unused. Later on, we are going to use it, don't worry. First, I am going to declare a variable and I am going to call this as enemies and I will set its value equal to find object by type, and in left and right arrow mark inside this I am going to select all my enemy object, and I will come out of this add open close bracket and end it with semicolon, and inside this now I will call this find object sort. I will call this find object sort mode and I will set it to none. I will press enter, add 2 forward slashes. First we are going to store the Y position before taking off. I will call my variable floor Y and I will set it equal to transform position period Y and end it with semicolon. Then after this I will press enter. I will add 2 forward slashes. I am going to then calculate amount of time we will go up, press enter, and I will call this as float jump time, and I will set it equal to the time, that is the actual time, plus I will add the hang time, the variable which I have already declared, and I will end it with semicolon. When it is moving up, I am going to call the while loop, and in open close bracket, when this time is less than jump time, I will come out of the bracket, press enter, add open close flower bracket, and inside this flower bracket I am going to move the player up while still keeping the x velocity. I will now select player RB period and I will set its linear velocity equal to, I am going to now set a new vector 2 value, and in open close bracket player RB period its linear velocity, and this velocity I will take it along the x-axis, comma, and I am going to then declare my smash speed and end it with semicolon. Finally, I will press enter and I will set yield return null. Now I will end it with semicolon. Now coming up out of this while loop, now I am going to next add 2 forward slashes and the comment. Now move the player down. I am going to take this while loop. I will call this while loop, add open close bracket, and inside transform dot position dot y value of my player is greater than floor Y. That is, when it is above the ground, I will press enter, add open close flower bracket, and inside this I am now going to call this player RB and I am going to set its linear velocity. This will be equal to new vector 2 component, add open close bracket and end it with semicolon, and inside this call my player RB its linear velocity, and in it I will call its x value, comma, and I am going to set this to minus smash speed as it is coming down, and I am going to multiply this value by 2. Then I will come out of this bracket, press enter, and I will set yield return equal to null and end it with semicolon. Finally, we want this to cycle through all the enemies. So I will press enter. I will add 2 forward slashes and I will call cycle through all enemies. This is the comment. I will use the for loop, add open close bracket, and you already know for needs one integer I equal to 0 semicolon. I is less than enemies period length. That is, if it is less than this enemy's array length, then comma, I will increment my I value, and coming out of this for, I will add open close bracket, call my enemy's left and right square bracket, and inside that I will call this I, and for this I am going to get the component lesser than and greater than sign, and between that I will call my component rigid body and come out, add open close bracket and press period. I am going to add explosion force, add open close bracket and end it with semicolon, and inside this I am now going to call the explosion force variable, comma, I will call transform period position, add comma, and I will then call my explosion radius, comma, I will set its y movement modifier to 0.0 f, comma, and finally the force mode will be set to impulse. I will just move back, come out of this for loop. After the closed bracket here, I will press enter. Next, I am going to now, we are no longer smashing. So, set boolean to false. I will add this comment and I will set the value of smashing equal to false and end it with semicolon. So, this is an IEnumerator smash function that we have written. Now, after this smash IEnumerator function, I will come after this closing bracket here, press enter. I am now going to declare one more new method. This is public. I will call it as void and I am going to call this as S capital start smashing. Add open close bracket, press enter, add open close flower bracket. Now inside this flower bracket, I am now going to test for a condition if add open close bracket and here if the current PowerUp, if this is equal to, add two equal signs, and this is if it is equal to PowerUpType.Smash, and I will add two ampersand sign. If smashing is false, then I will press enter, add open close flower bracket, and inside this flower bracket, first I am going to set smashing to be equal to true, end it with semicolon. I am now going to start coroutine job in open close bracket, end it with semicolon, and inside this I am now going to call my smash function, add open close bracket. Now I will come to file and save it. This smashing action should happen when the user presses on a key, for example the space key. I need input action. So I will come back into Unity. Now once the script is compiled, I will come and open this player input action. Double click to open it. We already had three actions here and I will create a new action and I will call this action as smash. And now in this, if I open it, I will come into binding and in path I am going to select keyboard, click on listen and press spacebar on your keyboard. I will now select space bar. I will come here and save this and then I will close this player input action. I will come back to my script PlayerController.cs and if I scroll up, we already have declared player input action as move input action, and if you scroll down and come into awake, we have already enabled it, and in enable now I am going to come here. So I will call this move input action period player, and now I am going to call smash. I will call this enable function, add open close bracket, I will end it with semicolon. I will press enter and then I will call this move input action period. I will call the player mapping period and I will call the action now smash. If this is performed, then this will be plus equal to, I am now going to call the function start smashing and I am going to end it with semicolon and come to this start smashing function again. Now inside this bracket, I am now going to call the input action period. I will call this callback context and I will select the context, and if I now save it, now we have enabled the smash input system, and when it is performed, start smashing function will be called. And similarly, I will come into on disable. I will again call this move input action player. I will now call this smash period. When it is performed, I am now going to set it equal to minus equals and I will call this start smashing function and end it with semicolon, and I will again call this move input action period player. I am going to set it smash to period disable and end it with open close bracket and semicolon. Now come back to Unity, allow the script to get compiled. Now here open the my prefab folder, and right now we have only PowerUp pushback and PowerUp rocket. I will select PowerUp bracket, press Ctrl D to duplicate it, press F2 and I am going to call this as PowerUpSmash. With PowerUpSmash selected, come to inspector, click on open, and with PowerUpSmash selected here, I will come into the mesh renderer, open material, and in element 0 I will click on this material and this will open in the project window. It is in course library source file material. You have this file. I will select this material and I will press Ctrl D to duplicate, press F2 and I am going to call this material as Smash. I will come into this surface input base map, click here and I am going to now select a dark red color and close it. Now I will select PowerUpSmash in the hierarchy and I am going to drag polygon prototype Smash and attach it in the material here. And now you can see the material is now red. So I will click on the arrow to come back to the scene and now I will come into SpawnManager. I will open the Power Prefab and we have only 2 prefabs now. I will click plus and add one more. I will now scroll down and from my prefab, I will drag this PowerUpSmash and attach it as the third element. And one last thing here is, if I come and select in my prefab the PowerUpSmash, I will come to inspector and I will open it. And with this PowerUpSmash selected, if I come into the inspector and PowerUp script, right now PowerUp type is set to rocket. I have to change this to Smash. Then go to file, save it. I will click on this arrow back to come to the main scene. Last thing that we have to add here is, if I come into the player control script and if you scroll down, when I come into FixedUpdate, I want none of this code to be executed when I am in smashing mode. After this open bracket, I will press enter and I am going to check for a condition if, and inside this smashing is on, then I will come out of this bracket, press enter, add open close flower bracket and inside this I will return. If smashing is on, then I have to return. I will scroll down and later on in this update we had added one cover so that my player doesn't fly away. So we had declared that if position y is greater than 1, then I want it to ground to point 1. This will not allow my player to move up at all. So this will be true only when position y is greater than 1 space. I will add another condition. I will add 2 ampersand. So I will add exclamatory mark smashing so that only when smashing is false, only then when it moves above 1, it will be grounded to point 1. Now I will go to file, save it. Now I will come back to Unity, allow the script to compile. Now if I play the game and if I check it, see now I have the green prefab. So if I press F, I can fire missile and I can destroy it. And now I have the red prefab. And when I have the red prefab, if I press space, say I can just pump it. And due to this explosion force, all my enemies will be destroyed. So I will stop the playback. Now you see one error here. The object type enemy has been destroyed, but you are still trying to assess it. This error is coming because if I come into the player controls and now if I come into this smash, we had declared this enemy I get component. When we added this script, I have to add one condition. That is, I will press enter. I will add a comment. Apply an explosion that originates from our position. And then I will test for if open close bracket and inside this enemies open close square bracket. Inside that I will call this I. If this is not equal to null, add open close bracket and open this open close bracket, and now I will select this entire line of code, complete this line of code. I will cut this and put it inside this F code block. Only when enemy I is not equal to null, this command will be executed. So now that error will be avoided. I will go to file, save it. Now I will come back to Unity, allow the script to compile. Now if I play the game and check it, see now you have green prefab. So I if I select this green and press F, I can fire missiles and I can destroy it. And now I have the red prefab. So if I go and collect the red prefab, if I press space, see now this is working fine. So with this, we have successfully implemented this smashing PowerUp, and we have made the player very powerful. And in our next session, we are going to make our enemies powerful by adding a boss enemy, and this we are going to do it in our next session.